the Maryland Commission on Climate Change, and 3, the Co-Smart Council in the Maryland Department of Natural Resources. In addition, the bill adds the comptroller or the comptroller's designee to the Maryland Commission on Climate Change and the Coast Smart Council. Amendment number 1 makes technical changes. Amendment number 2 alters the responsibilities of state treasurer and comptroller. Move the amendments.
Amendments have been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the amendments? All in favor of the amendments, please signify by saying aye. Anyone wish to be recorded in opposition to the amendments? Amendments passed.
Move the bill as amended, Mr. Chair.
Bills moved and seconded. Any discussion on the bill? All in favor of House Bill 918 as amended, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Does anyone wish to be recorded in opposition? Okay, the bill passes. Does anyone wish to be added as a co-sponsor?
No.
Okay. House Bill 929, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. HB 929 is a straight favorable. If you remember, the bill requires rather than authorizes the Secretary of the Agriculture to implement a program to use Bacillus thuringiensis, BETI, to control or eliminate nuisance insects in the state in accordance with the state budget and subject to specified existing notice requirements. The bill further requires rather than authorizes the Secretary to carry out a project under the program if the county or municipality in which the nuisance insects are located agree to pay 50% of the cost associated with the project. Move the bill.
Second. Any discussion on the bill? Okay, all in favor of House Bill 929, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone wish to be recorded in opposition? Okay, bill passes. House Bill 979, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. The subcommittee recommendation is favorable with amendments. The bill alters the regulatory approach for controlling invasive plant species in the state. The bill repeals the existing 2-tiered regulatory approach and instead establishes a regulatory approach that generally involves 1, assessments of non-native plant species by expert assessors to determine the invasiveness rank of each such species, and 2, review of such assessments, and 3, the determination by the Secretary of Agriculture whether which species should be classified as prohibited invasive plants and included on a consolidated list of Maryland's invasive plant species or a watch list. Amendment number 1 makes technical changes. Amendment number 2 alters definitions and responsibilities of the Invasive Plant Advisory Committee and clarifies the process for classifying certain plants as prohibited invasive plants. The amendment also authorizes the State Highway Administration to conduct certain activities for the purpose of controlling or disposing of a prohibited invasive plant along state highways without prior approval from the Secretary of Ag. Move the amendments.
Second. Amendments have been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendments, please signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed to the amendments? Madam Vice Chair.
Move the bill as amended.
Second. Bill's moved and seconded. Any discussion on the bill? Delegate Jacobs.
So I have a constituent issue that came up today, and I spoke to the vice chair and also the sponsor of the bill.
Happy to hold the bill to the next voting session, which will not be today. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next bill, House Bill 1097, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Subcommittee recommendation is favorable with amendment. The bill authorizes 1, a veterinarian assistant to perform certain tasks under the direct supervision of a veterinarian practitioner or veterinarian technician, and 2, a veterinarian technician to perform certain tasks under the direct supervision or indirect supervision of a veterinarian practitioner as specified. The bill also requires the State Board of Veterinarian Medical Examiners to develop by regulation an alternative pathway for currently employed veterinary assistants to become veterinarian technicians. The alternative pathway must be available for employed veterinary assistants only until September 30th, 2027. Amendment number 1 makes technical changes, and amendment number 2 restores current law requirements that veterinary technicians must be registered with the board and clarifies the tasks that may be performed and the level of supervision that is required to perform certain tasks. Move the amendments.
Second. Amendments have been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the amendments to 1097? Okay. All in favor of the amendments, please signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed to the amendments? Okay, amendments passed. Madam Vice Chair.
Move the bill as amended.
Bill's moving second. Discussion on the bill? Okay, all in favor of HB 1097 as amended, please signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, the bill has amendments. Does anyone want to be added as a co-sponsor? Delegate Madam Vice Chair, Delegate Ruth, Delegate Long, Delegate Allen, Delegate Morgan, Delegate Foley, Delegate Lehman, and Delegate Healy.
All right, I got stuff after Morgan. Who on this side?
Delegate Foley, Delegate Lehman, and Delegate Healy. She said after Morgan, she got tripped up.
So I have delegates Allen, delegates Long, Ruth, Boyce, Healy, Lehman, Foley, and Morgan.
Everybody good? Okay, Delegate Stewart, are you ready? Okay, we're gonna go back up to HB 225, which was one of the ones we skipped over. Delegate Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and sorry about that. I think that's my first votes I've ever missed in the full committee. All right, let's see. House Bill 225. All right, so the subcommittee's recommendation is favorable. There are no amendments, or no, there are amendments. Let's see. Essentially what this bill does is amended is reorders and reorganizes the smart growth subcabinet. We're now going to call it the sustainable growth subcabinet. It clarifies who the chair is going to be, the Secretary of Planning, who the vice chair is going to be, the Secretary of DHCD, and then it makes some other basically changes to nomenclature. Move the amendments.
Amendments have been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the amendments? All in favor of the amendments, please signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed to the amendments? Amendments passed. Delegate Stewart.
Move the bill.
Those moved and seconded. Any discussion on the bill? Okay, all in favor of House Bill 225 as amended, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Does anyone wish to be recorded in the negative? Bill passes. This does have amendments. Does anyone wish to be added as a co-sponsor to this departmental bill? Delegate Long, Delegate Allen, Delegate Lehman.
Delegate Long, Allen, Lehman.
Everybody good? Okay, House Bill 599, Delegate Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The subcommittee recommendation on House Bill 599 is favorable with amendments. There are two of them. The first one removes debt payments from the bill because of a debt for debt concern. And the second amendment refocuses the bill basically towards the state by requiring that members of an investment committee be representative of low-income communities in the state and also making sure that people in the state get priority for certain types of funding. Move the amendments.
Amendments have been moved and seconded. Discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendments, please signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed to the amendments? Amendments passed. Delegate Stewart.
Move the bill.
Bill's moved and seconded. Discussion on the bill? Okay, all in favor of House Bill 599 as amended, please signify by saying aye. Anyone wish to be recorded in opposition? Delegate Naraki? Just Delegate Naraki. Okay, this bill has an amendment. Does anyone wish to be added as a co-sponsor to the governor's bill? Delegate Holmes, Delegate Terrassa, Delegate Long, Delegate Lehman, Delegate Stein, Delegate Healy, and Madam Vice Chair.
Boyce, Holmes, Terrassa, Long, Lehman, Stein, Healy.
Everybody good? Okay, House Bill 873, Delegate Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This bill also received a favorable recommendation from the subcommittee. What this bill basically does is expands the purpose of this existing program, the appraisal gap from historic redlining financial assistance program, to apply to homeowners. Move the bill.
Bill's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the bill? All in favor of House Bill 873, please signify by saying aye. Anyone wish to be recorded in opposition? Okay, bill passes. Delegate Stewart, House Bill 891.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We're really rolling now. The subcommittee's recommendation on House Bill 891 was also favorable. There are also no amendments, and it expands the purpose of a different program. This one's called the Seed Community Development Anchor Institution Fund within DHCD. And what the bill does is expands the definition of anchor institution to include affiliated entities related to either hospitals or institutions of higher education. And there are no amendments. I move the bill.
Bill's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on House Bill 891? Okay, all in favor of House Bill 891, please signify by saying aye. Does anyone wish to be recorded in the negative? Okay, bill passes. We will now go back down to our environmental bills. House Bill 78, Delegate Stein.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Subcommittee recommendation is favorable with amendments. As amended, this departmental bill makes changes to the governance and administrative requirements of the Maryland Environmental Service. Amendment number 1 is technical. Number 2 strikes language that would have altered the number of board members constituting a quorum and changes the deadlines for the required annual financial audit and annual summary from October 31st each year to November 15th. Move the amendments.
Amendments have been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the amendments? Okay, just note that these are appropriations committee amendments were secondary on the bill. All in favor of the amendments, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Amendments passed. Delegate Stein.
Bill as amended. Move the bill.
Bill's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the bill as amended? Okay, all in favor of House Bill 78 as amended, please signify by saying aye. Anyone wish to be recorded in opposition? Okay, I'm not going to do a pile-on amendment because the amendment I think would have to go through appropriations. So we are going to go down to House Bill 992. Delegate Stein.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The recommendation is straight favorable. This bill requires the local health department or county government to which MDE is delegated authority to administer a well and septic program to submit a schedule of review times for well and septic program permits to MDE for approval by December 1st, 2024. Move the bill.
Bill's moved and seconded. Any discussion on the bill? Okay, all in favor of House Bill 992, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone wish to be recorded in opposition to this bill? Okay, bill passes, straight favorable, so no pile on. House Bill 1055, Delegate Stein.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Recommendation is favorable with amendments. As amended, the bill requires each state agency, county, and municipality to maintain records of each highway salt application made for the winter weather season and submit by July 1st each year. Report to MDE on its annual highway salt application for the previous fiscal year, including the total amount of salt applied and the amount of salt the jurisdiction had at the beginning of the year. Amendment number 1 is technical. Number 2 strikes language that would have required that the amount of salt applied per lane mile be reported. It strikes language that would have required a report on salt applied at schools and public parks and by private contractors. Move the amendments.
Amendments have been moved and seconded. Discussion on the amendments. Delegate Otto.
Does it satisfy the concerns that MML and MACO have these amendments? Okay.
Any further questions on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendments, please signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed to the amendments? Okay, Delegate Stein.
Move the bill as amended.
Bill's moved and seconded. Any discussion on the bill? Okay, all in favor of House Bill 1055 as amended, please signify by saying aye. Does anyone wish to be recorded in the negative? Delegate Jacobs, Delegate Otto, Delegate Silaberte, Delegate Naraki. Got him? Okay, does anyone wish to be added as a co-sponsor? Delegate Boyce, Delegate Love, Delegate Terrassa, Delegate Lehman.
I have delegates Boyce, Love, Terrassa, and Lehman.
Everybody good? Okay, House Bill 1153, Delegate Stein.
Chairman, the recommendation is favorable with amendments. As amended, this bill requires MDE in collaboration with certain publicly owned treatment works and significant industrial users to, by October 1st, 2025, identify the significant industrial users that currently and intentionally use PFAS chemicals. By June 1st, 2025, develop PFAS action levels for addressing PFAS contamination from industrial discharge for pre-treatment permits and by September 1st, 2025, develop certain mitigation plans for addressing PFAS contamination from industrial discharge for pretreatment permits. MDE must develop PFAS monitoring and testing protocols for significant industrial users in accordance with guidance from EPA. Under the bill, a significant industrial user must also safely store PFAS that were captured after reducing PFAS in accordance with these requirements. Amendment number 1 is technical. Amendment number 2 alters the application of the bill, strikes language that would have established a discharge limit for PFAS chemicals and instead requires MDE to develop certain PFAS action levels and certain mitigation plans, delays the dates by which a significant industrial user must meet certain measurement, reporting, implementation requirements, and changes the effective date of the bill from October 1st to July 1st. Move the amendments.
Amendments have been moved and seconded. Discussion on the amendments. Okay, on favor of the amendments, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed to the amendments?
Move the
Amendments
bill as amended.
passed. Bill's been moved and seconded. Discussion on the bill. Okay, all in favor of House Bill 1153 as amended, please signify by saying aye. Does anyone wish to be recorded in opposition? Delegate Jacobs, Delegate Otto, Delegate Naraki, Delegate Morgan. Okay. Does anyone, the bill passes. Does anyone wish to be added as a co-sponsor? Vice Chair Boyce, Delegate Terrassa, Delegate Ruth, Delegate Long, Delegate Allen, Delegate Foley, Delegate Guyton, Delegate Lehman, Delegate Stein, Delegate Healy. Everybody good? Okay, House Bill 501, Delegate Healy, first report out of the local government subcommittee.
That's right. That's right. This is a straight favorable. This is a statewide policy bill. This is not a local bill. The bill increases from $1,000 to $5,000, the maximum civil and criminal fines that may be imposed by a charter county for the enforcement of an ordinance or resolution, a bylaw, or a regulation adopted by the county. Move the bill.
Bill's moved and seconded. Any discussion on House Bill 501? Okay, all in favor of House Bill 501, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Delegate Otto, Delegate Siliberte, Delegate Naraki. So Otto, Siliberte, Naraki. Got him? Okay. Bill passes. House Bill 976, Delegate Healy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 976 is a local Somerset County bill. The bill increases the amount of funds that the Somerset County Commissioners must approve annually to the volunteer fire companies in Somerset County for fiscal 2025 and through 2030. The required appropriation for fiscal 2030 will remain in effect for subsequent years unless altered by future legislation. The bill takes effect July 1st, 2024. Straight favorable, move the bill.
Any discussion on House Bill 976? Delegate Davis, question about this local Somerset County bill.
The commissioners were in favor?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. Delegate Otto.
Delegate Otto, you want?
Okay, well, they gotta find it in their budget. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
House Bill 976, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone wish to be recorded in opposition? Okay, bill passes. House Bill 977, Delegate Healy.
House Bill 977 is another local Somerset County bill. It authorizes the county commissioners to sell the property on Revel's Neck Road, County Map 32, Parcel 149, under terms considered appropriate by the county commissioners. This bill takes effect July 1st, 2024. Straight favorable, move the bill.
Bill's moved and seconded. Any discussion on House Bill 977? All in favor of House Bill 977, signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Bill passes. House Bill 928, Delegate Healy.
All right. What's the last one? House Bill 928 is a local Washington County bill. And it authorizes the Board of County Commissioners of Washington County or an employee of Washington County to enter into a contract for the purchase of one or more vehicles without advertising bids if the amount involved in the contract does not exceed $100,000. This raises the cap from $50,000 to $100,000. It's a straight favorable local bill. Move the bill.
Bill's moved and seconded. All in favor? I'm sorry, any discussion on the bill? Okay, all in favor of House Bill 928, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Bill passes. Okay, House Bill 477. This bill, as introduced, authorizes a county, including Baltimore City, to enact local laws or ordinances that prohibit a landlord of residential property from failing to renew a lease during the lease term or seeking to terminate a holdover tenancy without just cause. The amendments rename the just cause as good cause, sets this up as a uniform law that local counties and the city can opt into, so they do not get to draft their own laws, but they can adopt this law or not. It's up to the county government or Baltimore City government. It adds the list of good causes. It makes minor modifications to the existing good causes as the bill was introduced, adds a threshold for applicability, and further specifies that threshold applies within the county that the local law is being applied in. And otherwise, I would move the amendments.
Second.
Any discussion on the amendments? On favor of the amendments, please. Oh, I'm sorry, Delegate Long.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just for clarification, does this still only address the tenants holding over and not all residential leases?
So the bill covers both,
Okay.
which was actually what we had sort of always intended based on the conversations. And there was a little bit of some drafting issues. I should have explained that, Delegate Long. Thank you.
Okay.
We have some additional amendments here that were not taken up by the subcommittee to clean up a couple issues. That is one issue.
Okay.
And the other issue was a point that Delegate Naraki raised about where is the sort of unit threshold, and we clarified in the proposed amendments that the unit threshold was based on the county. So if the Baltimore County hypothetically adopts the good cause legislation, the landlord has to have 6 or more units in Baltimore County for the law to apply. If they have 3 in Baltimore County and 3 in Hartford County, because they really like Delegate Naraki's district, then it would not apply to that landlord. So thank you for raising that point. That's some cleanup from your all's good work last night.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Further questions? Okay, on the amendments, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed to the amendments? The amendments? Okay, we're getting the amendments. Amendments pass. Nah, we're gonna let them vote for the amendments. All amendments have passed. Any discussion on House Bill 477? Okay, House Bill 477 will do roll call.
Vice Chair Boyce.
Yes.
Delegate Holmes.
Aye.
Delegate Love.
Yes.
Delegate Jacobs. Delegate Otto. Delegate Soliberti. Delegate Trassa. Delegate Ruth. Delegate Long.
Yes.
Delegate Allen. Delegate Naraki. Delegate Morgan. Delegate Addison. Delegate Baker. Delegate Ziegler. Delegate Foley. Delegate Guyton. Delegate Davis. Delegate Lehman. Delegate Stewart. Delegate Stein. Delegate Healy.
Bill passes 16-5, Delegate Soliberti. We have I'm sorry, yes, there is an amendment, so we can do a pile on. Does anyone wish to be added as a co-sponsor? Vice Chair Boyce, Delegate Holmes, Delegate Love, Delegate Terrassa, Delegate Ruth, Delegate Long, Delegate Allen, Delegate Addison, Delegate Foley, Delegate Lehman, and Delegate Healy.
Delegates Boyce, Holmes, Love, Terrassa, Ruth, Long, Allen, Addison, Foley, Lehman, Healy.
Great. We have a few withdrawals. I am going to accept the vote for HB 1207 as a vote on all 4 withdrawals. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, those bills have been withdrawn. Some scheduling announcements. Obviously, we have bill hearings tomorrow. We will not have a voting session tomorrow. We will just have bill hearings, but obviously listen up for subcommittee announcements, voting sessions, all that stuff is going to be much more ad hoc. going forward here. So please pay attention on the floor. Please pay attention here. Please make sure you or your staffs are keeping an eye on your emails, as I know you've all been doing. We'll do subcommittee announcements now. Delegate Holmes.
HRP Subcommittee tomorrow at 4 p.m., Monday at 5 p.m.
Delegate Love.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Motor Vehicles and Transportation at 5:45 tonight and at 7 o'clock on Monday.
Great. Of course, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you so much. I failed to give out floor leading assignments, and so please watch out for your email this evening very soon for your assignment. If you do not want your assignment, please let me know.
Delegate Naraka, will you take the good cause bill to the floor for me? Mr. Chair, with that amendment, I'm thinking about it. Okay. All right. Thank you all very
Wait,
much. I
Dave,
know.
I'll leave an announcement
I'm
too.
sorry, Delegate Healy.
A local government is going to have a meeting on Monday at 4 after the Rules Committee. So it'll be on Zoom. So 4 o'clock Monday.
Yeah, there'll be emails,
Yes.
but make sure
And it
you're
will be it'll be announced again.
great. Thank you all very much. I know we're in the heat of it now, so really appreciate it.